Good morning, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. The rabbis in the Mishnah say perhaps the most radical thing about Thanksgiving. They say, Kishem shemevarchim al hatov. Just like we have to thank God for the good in our life, kach mevarchim al hara. So too, we have to thank God for the bad. And the question is, how can we be grateful? Who's going to sit around the Thanksgiving dinner table tonight and list all the bad things in their life? Why would the rabbis say we have to be grateful for the bad just like for the good? Well, this week's Torah portion has the remarkable story of Isaac, the son of Abraham, who lived in the land of the Philistines. And the Torah says that Abraham had dug wells in the land of the Philistines, but the Philistines wanted to deny Isaac rights to the land and to erase any memory or legacy of Abraham in the land of the Philistines. So they went and they clogged up, they stuffed up, sealed off the wells of Abraham. And Isaac stands up and defends his father's wells by redigging the wells of his father. And the Torah says that he named the well Asek. Asek means contention, strife, because he fought with the Philistines over this well. And then the Philistines went and stuffed up and stopped up another well of Abraham. And once again, with perseverance, Isaac went and redug the well of his father Abraham. And he named it Sitna, which means hatred, because the enmity and the hatred of the Philistines towards him and his family, a stranger in their land, caused them to have strife to defend his father's wells. But then they tried it a third time, and they stuffed up a third well of Abraham. And there, the Philistines did not challenge him anymore. Isaac persevered in claiming the rights to his father's well and his father's heritage in the land of the Philistines. And therefore he named the third well Rechovot. Rechovot means expansion. And he says, because God has allowed me to expand in the land of Israel. And till today, there's a city in Israel, Rechovot, the city where the well of Abraham that was redug by Isaac, where finally the Philistines acquiesced to Isaac, remains. And this city has the Weizmann Institute in it, and has the medical school of Hebrew University, and the Kaplan Hospital. It's a city brimming and teeming with life and vitality, like the well springs of Abraham that was dug 3,700 years ago. And the powerful lesson of this story is that sometimes we face challenges in our life. And instead of just focusing on the bad, we have to say to ourselves, well, how can I dig a little deeper? How could I uncover the good that lies within this problem or this challenge? Instead of Isaac just looking at the gravel and the dirt and the surface, he said, I'm going to dig beneath the surface and uncover the wells. And then he was challenged the second time, and he contended with strife and hatred, but he ultimately prevailed on the third round. And he redug the wells and was able to live in peace with the Philistines as they acknowledged and recognized his rights to this land. And until today, because of Isaac's perseverance and determination and steadfastness in standing up for the honor and the legacy and the heritage of his father, the well springs of Abraham continue to flourish and nurture and provide life for the Jewish people, the descendants of Abraham in the land of Israel. And this is a powerful metaphor and lesson for all of us. As the rabbis say, when you see bad in your life, don't view it as bad. Realize that this is just an opportunity to uncover a deeper and greater good. And if you focus on the good that lies beneath the external facade, and you have faith and determination, and you act, then you will uncover the living fresh waters, the well springs of life that are contained within that challenge and that struggle. And by doing that, you will provide nourishment and fresh waters for yourself, for your family, and for all your future descendants, because you dug a little deeper. And that's why we have to be grateful, not just for the good, for the bad, because the bad is unrealized, untapped into good that awaits us. There's a story that happened recently here in Boynton Beach. There was a Dunkin' Donuts, and there was this fellow who came to the drive-through window to get his coffee, and he couldn't find his wallet, and he had to look around, and then his credit card fell between the seats, and it took a few minutes till he was able to pay. And there was this person behind him with a big SUV who was trying to get to work, and he was irritated. The line was taking too long, so he starts honking on his big horn loudly, beep, beep, like, come on, move on. And the guy finally got his credit card. He turned to the woman, the cashier, at the window of the drive-thru and said, here's my card, and do me a favor, pay for the guy behind me. I want to pay for him. And the woman said, that guy who's been honking at you, that nasty, arrogant guy who's been harassing you, you want to pay for him? He said, yeah, he must be having a bad day. Maybe I could cheer him up. I could turn his day around for him. The woman said, okay, whatever you like. She goes to the computer screen and says, by the way, he ordered breakfast for 8 people. The bill is $47. It's not just a cup of coffee. And he says, go ahead, just put it on my card. He went, she said, fine. She went, swiped his card. The next car pulls up, the guy in the SUV, and he starts mouthing off to the cashier, what was wrong with that idiot? What's he taking so long? We all got to get to work. There's a long line here. And she doesn't say anything. She just hands him his order of 8 breakfasts. He hands her the card, and she says, there's no charge. He says, what do you mean? He says, the guy in front of you paid for your order. He said, what? That guy? He said, yeah. He said, you must be having a hard day. He wanted to cheer you up. He said, maybe you'll make your day. The man was in shock and disbelief. And he's standing there holding his credit card, and he says to the woman, you know what? I'm going to pay for the car behind me. And she says, great. And she pays for that car. And then that car pulls up. And she says, the guy in front of you paid. And he says, I'll pay for the car behind me. And the woman who worked at the Dunkin' said, for the next 15, 20 cars, everyone said, thank you, I'll pay for the car behind me. And that's a beautiful example of how sometimes our first reaction is negative. This is bad. This guy is whether honking at me or this guy's holding me up. And your first reaction is, this isn't good. But then you say, 1 minute, let me dig a little deeper. Let me turn this into something positive. Let me uncover the deeper well springs of water, my inner goodness in myself and others. And when you reveal that water, that fresh living water, you realize that the bad wasn't really bad. It was goodness in disguise, and you just had to uncover it by digging a little deeper within yourself. And then that water continues to live on, to inspire, just like this story inspires us till today. And so next time you see something negative in your world, in your life, around you, say, how can I transform it into something positive? And then you'll have the deepest, most meaningful sense of appreciation and gratitude, because the goodness didn't come easy. It came through your efforts and your toil, and you will feel a deeper and a more joyous satisfaction. Have a happy, meaningful Thanksgiving.